What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free review of Countdown from 2019. I know I'm a little late, but it finally just came out, and I'm going to do it for you now. If Final Destination had a baby with Happy Death Day's sister or brother, and that baby sort of looked like Final Destination, but not as good looking, then you have Countdown. Countdown was actually written and directed by Justin Deck, who is pretty much been working in films for a long while as a production assistant, and this is his first feature film. In writing or in direction, by the way. Now, let me give you a little background on my opinion about this movie before it came out. My girlfriend and I like to watch really kind of crappy horror sometimes and just kind of have a laugh at it, not necessarily with it. So she wanted to go see this movie in the theater, and for whatever reason, we just skipped it. She's a big fan of these kind of movies, including me. I like Final Destination a whole lot, actually. It's had its ups and downs, obviously, like any franchise for the most part. Saw, another one. Now, those movies have something in common, and that's mostly gore. This one has the rule set sort of similar to Final Destination by picking off teens, but it's a little bit different, and it's a little bit more current, as I mentioned. The story is about a killer app that basically kills people by telling them the date that they are going to die. A very simple app that anybody could download on their phone. You know how memes work, things blow up, people get interested in these kind of things because, ooh, when am I gonna die? Not that I would really want to know. I think back in the day they had this meme going around about when your death day was going to be, and it was during the MySpace days. It was like kind of a craze about this kind of thing, and everybody went to the website and it told you when you were going to die. Now we've got Happy Death Day, we've got all these different movies, Final Destination that came out, things like that. So it's kind of interesting concept to think about our mortality, and that's essentially what horror is all about. Now, rule set horror is something that is kind of forgotten about now. We see a couple of movies pop out here and there that may do it okay, but most of them aren't like the mainstream movies like this one is set out to be. So it's kind of dated. But on the other hand, knowing that going in, I also knew to expect a kind of a shit fest in a way. But because my expectations were very low, I had plenty of room for it to go up. And as I watched the movie, there are a couple of flaws, many flaws to begin with, but I still found it kind of entertaining. Me and my girlfriend were laughing the whole time watching the movie, either with it or at it. It's an entertaining movie that way, one way or the other, or both. Now, it is obviously contrived from other better films in the genre or subgenre. At this point, I kind of feel like Final Destination, Saw, and a lot of these other films are kind of a particular subgenre. Like, if you like slashers, you're not going to turn down a chance to go see another slasher, are you? No. So if you like Final Destination, you probably won't be too offended. Now, is this movie as good as Final Destination? Clearly not. And even then, there's a lot of people that don't even like the Final Destination movies. So you're going to have a very small niche audience for this particular film, I think. But I knew it was never going to be, so it didn't really matter to me whether or not it was as good as Final Destination. I just wanted to kind of fill that sort of void that Final Destination has left. By the way, if you're looking to start a drinking game, all you gotta do is just count how many times I've said Final Destination. Drink now. But the acting and everything was actually pretty decent. I didn't have any problems with it whatsoever. I kind of am interested in movies that are a little bit more modern because, you know, we deal with these things on a daily basis, and with horror, it's always trying to attack things that we do on a daily basis. For Jaws, it was going in the water. For, I don't know, Final Destination, drink. Maybe it's a roller coaster. Maybe it's they preyed on a lot of fears in those movies, and that's probably what made them actually pretty good. But horror is always trying to push new limits and try to do new things to try to be original. Doesn't always pan out. And in this case, in Countdown, absolutely not. It's not original. It is kind of a fresh take on something that we think about every day, our cell phones, which are on us at any given time. And I don't think it's that bad to tackle a subject that we use every single day. Now, is it? Still, the movie isn't exactly great. It's not even really good. But for me, it was enjoyable. I had a good time watching it. There was some of the humor in it was kind of a stretch, but it just kind of added to the overall entertainment value for me. Now, I know a lot of people online are pretty upset about this movie, giving it 1s, 3s, whatever. I happened to dip into a couple of them just because I was curious to see what other people thought about it. One of the things that I came across was, don't put politics in movies, which I tend to agree for the most part. And this movie does have some social commentary that you're going to find in the movie. But one of them I didn't even care about. The other one, it kind of made sense because I knew where it was going anyway and why this supposed bad person was in the film. I think where the problem lies with this movie, and it'll be different for me than it will be for the majority of people, I think, is that the acting's fine, the scares, not so much, although there is a, how do I say, antagonist in this film that I thought looked pretty fucking cool. And I would love to see more of that. There's not really any scares. This movie seems a lot more like a comedy film to me. For a PG-13 film, I thought this was way more enjoyable than it should have been. Does that mean that it's going to be for everybody? Obviously not. I think where this movie suffers the most is that it should have used gore, but the demographic that they're kind of trying to reach is a modern one because we are using our cell phones and we are talking about technology and modern horror. So the youth. So they probably thought that this would be a good idea for a PG-13 film. I don't think it's scary. I didn't really care for it to be scary. I wasn't expecting it to be scary. I wasn't expecting it to be as funny, inadvertently or not, as it was. I think if you are a Final Destination fan, you can appreciate it in some regards, even if it's not as good to you as those films because of the gore or because of the phobias that people have, those things you think about in the back of your mind. It didn't really prey on those things. So for that reason, for me, it's probably like a 6.5 just for the entertainment value that I had with my girlfriend. As a whole, for most people, I'm sure that it'll be more along the lines of like a 4. I would watch it again, so immediately it's going to be a 5 or higher. The only thing that would have made this like a better movie to me would have been to see more gore. And honestly, I honestly wouldn't mind seeing a sequel. If they put an R on it, I would be all about it. What do you guys think? You're probably disagreeing with me and having aneurysms and foaming from the mouth right now.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Tell me what you guys think. Did you see it? Did you hate it? Have you put it off because you're not that interested in it? I think if you keep your expectations low, you'll probably enjoy it enough. Not a bad watch, especially if you're trying to fill that void that Final Destination has sort of left you. If you hate those films, stay away from it. If you hate any kind of social commentary whatsoever, I don't think it's that bad, but you probably should just stay away from it. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button to let you know when I have a new video coming out. And as always, long live the void.